So as you guys can tell, I have a bare car right now, and so last night, or as you guys remember at Nationals, I got put into the wall in the A main, and after that crash, I thought my frame was bent, but we haven't checked it before. So last night after the races, I pulled the rear end out, and we found out that the frame was really bent on the left side. So right now, courtesy to my mom, she brought over a spare frame for me, and right now I'm just putting that back together, and hopefully we can get her done in time to go out for hot laps later. But we still got quite a bit of time, so I think we'll get it done. But hopefully tonight we just do a lot better than last night.
Hey guys, welcome to day 2 of the Outlaw Kart Showcase. We're getting ready here to go racing tonight, and we're just getting everything ready to go and putting on tires and stuff, making sure the car looks nice and good because we made it into the big show. So we gotta make sure everything's nice and ready to go. 40 laps, it's gonna be intense. I don't know, I might die because the 25 last night have me dead, but hopefully we can get it done. That'd be cool. I think we're gonna start somewhere up front. We had a really good night. We qualified 10th out of 30 something in my group. That's really good. They took top 10 to a fast dash for cash, and we started on the front row. They did an invert, so I started on the pole, and then coming to the green, the guy on the outside of me like pushed me into he like came down on me all of a sudden and pushed me into the infield. Almost spun out right off the bat. Somehow I only dropped back like 3 spots, and we hung there, and then had a really good race with Preston Carr. We threw a lot of slide drops. Threw a lot of slide drops last night in the dash / A main. It was 25 laps, so it was basically a main, but we did really good. And then yeah, so tonight we start up front, I believe, in the A main. We're in the A main, but I'm not sure where we start yet. We'll find out later. I'll update you guys on that. But yeah, we finished 2nd in the heat race, started 3rd, made it in. So yeah, hopefully tonight goes good.
How's it going, everybody? We're here at the Outlaw Kart Showcase at Cycleland. We brought Blake and Evan down with us so they could have some fun this weekend. As you can see, Evan's not having as much fun as everybody else, but I think he'll persevere and make it through. I'm hoping he can make it to the big show tonight. Blake's already locked in, I'm pretty sure, with his run. That's the best run.
Okay, we're good.
How was practice?
Got it. It was all right. A couple of driver mistakes, but besides that, the car felt really good. I like the new frame so far, so now we just got to go test her out in the B main.
Working hot. How was practice?
Welcome back. Practice was pretty good. We just got done for the open A main practice, and the track is still super slimy up top. It's still really early in the night. They haven't ran many laps on it yet, but it's moving up. It's gonna be against the wall, I think, in the A main. If it keeps it up, it's gonna be up against the wall. But it felt good. 2 times I got over just where I need, a little over where I was, and it pushed me up, and I got up into the 6th step. You don't want to be up that high yet, but other than that, the car felt really fast. I think I was catching the guys in front of me. I ran them down from a good distance. But yeah, other than that, the car felt really good. and let's hope we can go out there and get some good laps in.
Rauscher goes upside down in turn number 1. Looks like he got turned around and then started to run around the yard left rear and hits him over. With upside down in turn number 1. White steel involved as well. Flybold and Wheeler to start off first the end of it. Turn number 1, Rauscher is okay after tipping over in turn number 1. Here we go, green flag back in the air.
Road 12, Brandon Enos, and the 95 of Josh Wooten. Last couple cars firing off from the grid now. Adams and Wooten get fired. As you'd expect here, part of the showcase, some heavy hitters have come to play. But the big story, Colton Hunterman, your dash winner, a huge underdog, a regular in the OI division, carrying the hopes and dreams of that division here at Cycleland. Hunterman and Seavey fall into their front row starting positions. Brandon the Chance stopped on the backstretch. Car comes back to life as he'll wait for the rest of the field to roll around.
Well, Drake, in this one, we've got 24 drivers, and we've got drivers from just about every age group, every skill level, every class. This should be fun. I think the 91 of Tyler Seavey's got to be the favorite to win from the outside of the front row. But there's hitters all the way through this field. It's a long 40 laps. We got a field stop halfway through this one. What do you think, Drake?
I think you nailed it right there, Elijah. I think the one thing you got to be sure of here is don't burn up your stuff here in the first half. I think conservation is going to be survival of the fittest in the first half.
Well, Drake, as you can see, the cars have gone 4 wide, and salute to you, the crowd. This time off at turn number 4. Stand to your feet, wave your hats, raise a small child in the air. This is your Outlaw Kart Showcase, a main event. Well, I guess now's as good a time as any to let you in on a little secret. But the 38 car pushing out onto the racetrack, that's the factory QRC Durst Incorporated number 38 entry. That driver behind the wheel utilizing a past champion's provisional to start tonight's Outlaw Kart Showcase. None other than this year's Outlaw Kart Showcase promoter. That is Colby Copeland. Behind the wheel of the 38 car. He's going to tag the tail of the field in this one. We'll see what Colby can do in the 38 car.
Elijah, right now as Colby begins to grid in this one as he rolls off from the back, what's going to be his biggest challenge with no laps in the car this week?
I'm not sure he'll have much of a challenge, honestly. I mean, it's a car that he knows. It's a team that he knows. And I think the biggest challenge early in this race is just going to be trying to fight through some of the attrition that is possible to happen. You know, starting at the back of a 25-car field, anything can happen. He's got to try and pick his way through cleanly for the first half of the race, I think. Try and get himself at least to the top 10 for the final 20-lap shootout of this one. So we'll see how it plays out. I'm sure Colby's not going out there wanting to, really affect the outcome of this event. Just going out to have some fun with these guys that have shown up to help provide a great show here at the Cycleland Speedway, and it will be just that.
Once again, this prestigious event continues on this year thanks to Colby Copeland, and he gets to tag the back of the field. This has always been a marquee event here at Cycleland Speedway, always a part of the Cycleland experience as the flagman gives the drivers the 1-to-go signal.
Cycleland Speedway as the field rolls down the back straightaway for the final time. We've got 40 laps upcoming for the Outlaw Kart Showcase here at the track where the stars of tomorrow race today. Out of turn 4, the green flag is in the air.
And Colton Hunterman, your dash winner, is going to take the lead off at turn number 2. Field makes it through clean and green. Colton Hunterman looks to lead lap number 1 of 40, and he'll do just that.
Hunterman, your leader. He's trailed closely by the 91 of Tyler Seavey. Then here comes the 4 of Preston Carr. Carr goes by him and takes over the second spot from the veteran driver.
John Michael punching Garrett Brown, going mano-a-mano for that 4th spot off turn number 4. Give it to Garrett Brown.
Big wreck off of turn number 4. The 1 car on his side. 1 car, another 2 cars around, and we're going to go red here early in this one.
Dupre upside down, Enos involved, and I believe that's Jack Kaeg and the 7J also involved.
Yeah, it looked as though the 24 of Alex Fowler had slowed on the top of the racetrack. That caused an accordion behind him. Everybody stacked up. The 7J spun. And calamity ensued. But we go with open red flag conditions here with 1 lap completed in tonight's open main event.
You got to wonder what's going through Colton Hunterman's mind right now, Elijah. Obviously a dark horse in this one, leads the opening lap of the showcase and now has a quick red to talk with his crew, see what they're thinking already. Kind of hard to judge what's going on after just one lap of racing action is completed. But the crew on Alex Fowler's car, as you said earlier, Elijah, they are taking a serious look at the 24 machine. Was leading the dash earlier, poised to start on the pole position of the feature event, tagged the wall, and eventually brought him out of that race. He rolled off from 8th in tonight's feature. Once again, the cars involved. Chad Dupre going upside down. Brandon Enos, as well as Jack Kay getting together in turn number 4. Still right now, just crews briefing with their drivers, seeing what they think after lap 1. Kind of hard to judge anything after just one lap of racing. Whether you went backwards, whether you went forwards, whether you stayed the same, kind of hard to judge what you're going to need here later in this race as the air horn sounds. That's the signal to the crews to step away from the car. And that second horn now the signal to throw the yellow flag, and cars begin to roll around the speedway once more. One lap completed. Colton Hunterman is your leader. There is Dupre's car, right side top wing panel off of that race car as he rolled over on the right side, so they've just elected to run basically a half a wing for the rest of this race. This field now begins to form once again behind Colton Hunterman. Like I said earlier, hard to judge what we could see later in this race, but Preston Carr, we do know after just one lap complete, he has a hot rod. Alex Fowler now goes to the infield, slowed up in turn number 4, and they were working on that car hard under the red flag, and now they've been forced to bring it down to the work area.
Looks like the 7J, Jack Kaeg down there in the work area as well. Trying to get that car back on the racetrack, it looks like. But it looks like just one lap completed in this one. Colton Hunterman, your early race leader. Hunterman in search of his first career open main event victory here this evening if he can get the job done. So Colton Hunterman, your leader. Then the 91 of Tyler Seavey. He sits second in this one. Tyler Seavey comes into the night with a 27 career wins under his belt. Preston Carr in the third spot. He has never broke through in the open class here at the Cyclone Speedway. Garrett Brown has a few wins to his name. John Michael Bunch, he's won a bunch of races over the years. So that's your top 5. So in the top 5 right now, 2 drivers in search of their first career open feature event victory.
Jack Kaeg's going to make it back out on the speedway in the 7J. Still trying to get things sorted out here with part of the lineup, trying to get Rauscher into the right spot. Yeah, Rauscher stopped down there on the infield trying to figure out where he is supposed to line up.
So just about got the lineup set and ready to go here. We'll be ready to go back to green with one lap completed.
One driver, Elijah, I'm really keeping my eyes coming from the back of this one. Tanner Pettit ran it through the soup. Had issues last night in his heat race while leading. Got a new motor today. Put it on the side of the 24P. Almost didn't get to make it out of the C, Elijah. Was leading the C, and then the motor quit on him while he was leading under yellow. But enough cars had already dropped out by that point, so he'd be the fourth and final transfer, and then ran into a second place finish in the first B main, so he started 19th. He's going to be fun to watch as we come down to the one to go signal.
So set to go back to green with our Outlaw Kart Showcase main event. One lap completed, 39 laps remaining. Colton Hunterman leads them into the restart zone off of turn number 4. The green goes back in the air.
Colton Hunterman gets away very nicely, but here's Preston Carr to the inside of CV. CV drives back around the outside and comes after Hunterman into turn 3.
Yeah, the 91 is CV just being patiently aggressive right now. Aggressive enough to try and maintain his second position, but got to imagine behind the helmet there, he's thinking there's a long way to go in this race. And he's very content right now just to ride in that second spot.
Jennifer Osborne, Brandon LaChance go to war as Dupre goes to the infield. That is the battle for the 5th position. Now Brandon LaChance helps the Osbornes out a lot with setups, trying to get Jennifer comfortable in this 500, and now she's going wheel to wheel with one of her mentors.
Garrett Brown got into the wall a little bit there in turn number 2. None were worse for the wear, though. He continues on in that 4th position. He's being chased by the 11 VS of John Michael Bunch. Everybody going around the top side of the racetrack.
Jack Cake spins in turn number 2. We're going to yellow. 14 to the fence. Here comes Stevie to the inside.
Yeah, Hunterman pushed it too hard into 3 and 4. Got up into the fence. Was lucky that it didn't catch the right front and really caused some damage, but that cost the youngster the lead. Tyler Seavey in search of career win number 28 here at Cycleland. He takes the lead away with 6 laps completed, 34 still remaining.
Well, that's exactly what you were talking about earlier, Elijah. Tyler Seavey, he's a veteran of this sport, no slouch when it comes to running outlaw karts anywhere in the country. He's won at Millbridge many times, part of the Speed 51. He's former West Coast Nationals champion. He knows how to win these really long races, and that was all about being patient right there. Just wait for Hunterman to slip up. But it'll be exciting to see what Hunterman can do here on this restart.
Well, lights are out. Quickly ready to go back to green. Green in the air.
Here's Garrett Brown on the inside. Slips past Preston Carr. Carr back to the inside into turn number 3. That's the race for 3rd. Carr slides up. Brown's going to cut him back off at turn number 4. Carr to the wall. Trace Adams collects Gallarde.
Yeah, something looked mechanically wrong with the 3 car going into turn number 3. That sent him into the wall. He collected Gilardi as Garrett Brown goes by Preston Carr and into position number 3, coming back to the yellow.
Garrett Brown, we talked about, Elijah. Even though he's second in the Saturday night points here at Cycleland, he could be a bit of a dark horse coming into this one. Started 6th, he runs 3rd with 7 laps completed, but Tyler Seavey, the fastest car on the racetrack that last time by. Just to give you an idea of what they're running right now, 11.429 was Seavey's time that last time around the Speedway.
And Drake, worth noting, I just noticed this, but worth noting that Braden Enos running right now at towards the back of the field in the 19th position. He is the last remaining sportsman class regular on the racetrack. So with that, he will clinch the K1 Race Gear Sportsman bonus. So Braden Enos takes home the Sportsman bonus for the Sportsman class. Chad Dupre sits on the infield. He'll get second place money for that, and then we'll have to figure out who is the highest finisher in the B mains. But here we go, back to green.
CV with a good start. Here is Brown on the inside of Hunterman. Garrett Brown up to second, and he sets his sights on CV, but first he's got to deal with Hunterman. He drives around the outside, and Garrett Brown looking for his first showcase win.
Yeah, Garrett Brown knows his best chance at winning this race right now is to mirror what the 91 is doing and not let him get away. Don't let him get comfortable up there at the front of the field. He's got to stick with him and try and pounce in the closing laps of this one.
Colton Hunterman, your pole sitter, is now drifted back to fifth. Jennifer Osborne and Hunterman having a good battle, but there is Lena Brooks and LaChance slicing and dicing. Ryan Foster back to the inside as well as he slides in turn one.
Up front, the 91 is CV on cruise control. He's got a sizable advantage, up over 1 full second in front of Garrett Brown. Preston Carr maintains the third spot, followed by John Michael Bunch and Colton Hunterman. Your top five all doing well. It's a battle for sixth is side by side.
Well, you talk about two varying skill sets in the open class. Lena Brooks, the reigning champion. Jennifer Osborne in her debut. Slicing and dicing. Brooks in the fence, and he's got problems. He tagged the fence, and the 60L is slow down the backstretch. Ryan Foster slow too.
Look out.
Colby Copeland about ran to the back of him. We will go yellow.
Brooks was able to get it going again. The 60L back under power. He's continued on near the back of the field, but Ryan Foster is slow to a stop, and we're going to go yellow. So unfortunate break there for the 6 of Ryan Foster as he brings out the yellow flag.
Yeah, very odd to see Landon Brooks right there. He tagged the wall there, Elijah, in the battle with Jennifer Osborne, and then it almost just looked like the chain popped off, but very odd to see him come back under power like that. Not sure what the issue is, but crew now taking a look at the Fogarty number 6, piloted by Ryan Foster, and here comes Landon Brooks into the work area in the factory QRC Durst 60L. He runs to the attention of Jimmy Elledge. Flagman gives the drivers 1 to go once again. Garrett Brown, that last restart, Elijah, he was killer. He capitalized on it. Can he now go to the lead?
So we've got 15 laps completed. If we get to lap 25 before getting a caution, we'll have a yellow for the field break. Green flag in the air. We're back underway.
Here's Garrett Brown to the inside, slides up. CV able to drive around the outside. Brown could fall in the clutches here. Preston Carr. Carr with the slider. Brown drives around the outside.
Smart move there by the 2 of Garrett Brown just to test the waters on the restart. See how the slider would work. See what kind of momentum he's able to keep up. It did not work, but he's able to put that in the memory bank for later in the race.
4-car breakaway at the front of the field. Preston Carr wall rides it. Meanwhile, it is a hornet's nest back throughout the field. But up front, field's starting to get a little bit stretched out. Logan Hayes, or Luke Hayes, excuse me, and Colton Hunterman go mano-a-mano farther back.
Tyler Seavey, the last time by, ran his fastest lap of the race as he continues to knock down the top side of the racetrack. Seavey out front, leading in front of Garrett Brown, Preston Carr, John Michael Bunch, and Jennifer Osborne.
Yellow flag is out. So the yellow is the halfway break, and this will be our halfway break fuel stop.
So what we'll do here, we'll make sure that the lineup is correct. Once the lineup is correct on the racetrack, we will then stop all of our remaining drivers. Looks like we still have 18 cars running on the racetrack. We'll stop them in that order and open up the red flag conditions. So officials, if you are in the infield, wait for the horn before you run onto the racetrack. So there is the horn. Red flag conditions are being opened up, and the crews will go to work on these race cars. Any kind of minor adjustments they can make, they will be doing. Tire pressure adjustments.
And unlike that red we had at the start of the race, Elijah, these teams and drivers now know what they're working with. They know what their race cars can do. They know what other drivers' race cars can do. And this will give drivers and teams a better chance to adjust on things. Seeing the hood come off on Jennifer Osborne's car on the front stretch, so maybe looking at the radiator on the 10. Don't usually see that a lot here during open reds for the Outlaw carts. But Tyler Seavey, Elijah, it's been fun to watch him run the top. Everybody's trying to knock down the fence, but Tyler Seavey, smooth as can be. That's what we've come to expect from the driver behind the wheel of the 91. When the yellow came out, had well over a second advantage over second place Garrett Brown, Preston Carr, John Michael Bunch, Jennifer Osborne, the top 5, Brandon LaChance, Dominic Gordon, Luke Hayes, Colton Hunterman, and now Tanner Pettit making his way into the top 10, all the way back from 19th, and if you want to go farther back in the day, all the way from the C-Main. Tanner and I talked a little bit earlier today, and he basically told me, I'm going to have to pass a lot of race cars if I want to make something happen, and he has done just that. The lucky break there in the C-Main drove the 24P to a second place finish in the first B-Main event, and now finds himself inside the top 10. Heading into the second half of tonight's feature event for the Outlaw Kart Showcase. So once again, this is the fuel stop for halfway. Colby Copeland, using his promoter's provisional, now runs 14th in the factory QRC, Durst 38.
The best thing I've seen so far in this open red flag condition right now, Drake, is the two little kids running from every single car, giving every single driver knuckles, giving them fist bumps.
Pass it on, kids. Yeah, that's the great thing, Elijah, that is so refreshing to come back to Outlaw Kart racing. You know, when you're on a national level and you get a red flag, everybody just kind of lets out a sigh of a sigh of relief there under a red flag, and sometimes people are mad at each other, yelling at other people, but it's so refreshing to see kids go to each and every car, you know, whether they're best friends with that driver or hardly know that driver. They're giving him fist bumps, wishing him well for the second half of this main event.
Well, you talking about national level brings up something that I wanted to talk about while we've got a break here. You follow the USAC Tour, you know, all over the Midwest right now, and Justin Grant, he's one of the top drivers in any kind of non-wing or midget racing. His dad, Tim Grant, was the designer and creator of all of our Outlaw Kart Showcase trophies this season. So we want to send a huge thank you and a shout out to Tim Grant for these beautiful trophies that he was able to put together for us. Just absolutely awesome. He does a great job. If you want to check out some of the other work he does, and possibly if you have any reason to need any trophies or plaques or any kind of custom photography work, check out DCIDesignsForYou.com. It's DCI Designs, the number 4, the letter U.com. That is Tim Grant's website, and I tell you what, these trophies are some of the most beautiful trophies I've seen in a long time.
Those Grants, anything Justin hops in, he goes fast. Anything Tim touches turns beautiful. So definitely give Tim a call. I remember when I got hired to do the Western Grants Quarter Midget races, he did the banners for everyone. He actually made one for me. I thought it was like one of the coolest things ever, and he did a great job with it. So shout out to Tim. These trophies are absolutely beautiful this year.
Well, Drake, cars are refiring. We're about ready to get this race back underway. We'll have 20 laps down, 20 laps remaining. Your lineup will look like this. Tyler Seavey, your leader. Garrett Brown in second. Preston Carr will restart in the third spot. Then John Michael Bunch, Jennifer Osborne, Brandon LaChance. Dominic Gordon in 7th. Luke Hayes 8th. Colton Hunterman 9th. Tanner Pettit up to 10th in the 24P. And then the 3R Blake Rauscher in 11th. Angelo Cornett 12th. Carson Souza will restart 13th. Colby Copeland in 14th. Then Samuel Harper, Josh Wooten, Isaiah Vasquez, and Braden Enos. The final car that is still running. That gives us 18 total cars still on the racetrack.
Well, Elijah, we talked about at the top of the show here for the race. And like any big race, Knoxville Nationals, Indy 500, any long race like that, there are 2 races in that race. There's a race to get to halfway, and there is a race to the end. Right now, we're in the latter of those 2. A race to the end, and this is when you're going to see some big money moves be made. Drivers willing to put it all on the line to get to the Outlaw Kart Showcase victory lane. So right now is when it really becomes crunch time with 20 laps completed and 20 to go. Question is, does Garrett Brown or Preston Carr have anything for Tyler Seavey? Time will tell. Lights are out. Truck Shop Motors. Amber Norman Racing 91 brings them back to the green.
See what Garrett Brown does here. He'll try to dive to the inside. He tries it again. Not a bad move there by Brown. He's able to hang on to that second spot. Now Preston Carr will take a look to his inside in 3 and 4. Not able to make the pass. It's still CD up front.
Track is so wide right now, it could be hard to throw sliders in 3 and 4. Meanwhile, John Michael Bunch into third. Preston Carr back to his inside. Carr's going to throw the big turn 3 slider. But John Michael Bunch back to the inside. He's going to have the spot into turn number 1. Carr slides up, but it's all about John Michael Bunch. He's into third.
Yeah, great move there by Bunch to get that third spot away. Still impressed with Jennifer Osborne running around right now in the 5th spot, in the top 5, and she's being hounded now by the 1B of Brandon LaChance, who's been quick all week long.
Back behind them, Luke Hayes and Dominic Gordon, the Trophy Dash winner from last night, going to war. That's farther back in the top 10. That's the battle for 7th.
Well, we'll see if we can get into traffic in this one right now. The 91 looks to be the class of the field up at the top side of the racetrack, where it's so exciting to be for these drivers, and he's just letting it all hang out as he has a 1.4-second advantage.
Drivers inside the top 10 getting stretched out. Meanwhile, farther back, Carson Souza throws a slider on Tanner Pettit. But Dominic Gordon, problems for LaChance. He slows. The 1B of Brandon LaChance slows. Good on him. He's going to make it to the infield. We stay green.
Yeah, veteran move there by LaChance to get to the infield to allow us to stay green. This time by 28 laps completed, 12 laps remaining, and Tyler Seavey is closing in on slower traffic.
Now Tyler Seavey, we've been talking about him all night long. He is a veteran of Outlaw Kart Racing. He knows how to pick through traffic and do it cleanly. We'll see what he does here. Brandon Enos will be the first car he encounters.
Well, fortunately for the 91, he's got a big enough lead that he can kind of be really patient right now, getting into the traffic, pick his point where he wants to try and make the passes. Garrett Brown breaks. The 2 of Garrett Brown is off the pace in turn number 1, and your second place car is out of it.
Tyler Seavey brings him back down to the yellow flag, and Garrett Brown's magical showcase run could be over as he stops in turn number 2.
Well, the 38 of Colby Copeland pulls into the infield.
I think he's had his fun, Elijah.
Well, we're looking at the car, so maybe just getting some pointers. He'll drop to the rear of the field and continue on if he's able to roll back out. With Drake, we got 31 complete, 9 laps to go when we go back to green. Less than 10 laps remaining in this Outlaw Kart Showcase main event. And we've got Tyler Seavey and John Michael Bunch, two veteran drivers at the front of the field leading. Then your third place car is Preston Carr. Luke Hayes into the fourth spot. He's moved his way forward. And fifth is the 10 of Jennifer Osborne. So here we go, back to green with 9 to go.
Does Bunch try anything on this restart? He's too far back. Tyler Seavey brings him back into 1. Luke Hayes with the slider on Preston Carr. Carr's going to hang on to the third spot down the backstretch. Here's Hayes back to the inside. Mono for third.
Yeah, Luke Hayes proving that he can make the bottom work right now. Hanging right there with Carr, able to edge in front of him for a moment, but Carr with the momentum pulls back ahead.
Meanwhile, from 16th to 5th is Dominic Gordon. Last night's Dash for Cash winner also rolling the bottom. He's making moves in the 52Y.
Tyler,
Carr around in the backstretch.
Preston Carr hard into the back straightaway wall, and we go yellow.
He was running third, having a great run, and now he finds himself stopped on the top side of turn number 3. Tyler Seavey once again will be your leader, but Elijah, with 6 laps to go, we know how aggressive John Michael Bunch is. Question is, can he get a better restart than he did last time to maybe throw a slider on on Tyler Seavey, excuse me, because we know if he is presented the opportunity, he will do it.
Yeah, another driver I'm keeping an eye on is that 52Y, Dominic Gordon. He's up to 4th. As you stated, he started back in the 16th spot, picked up the win in last night's main event. Trying to go 2 for 2 here at the showcase. He's in the 4th spot, but he's only got 6 laps to try and get to the lead. And the 91 has shown no signs of slowing at the front of the field. He has been dominant.
Seems like when Tyler Seavey gets out in front of these races, the only thing that takes him out is a mechanical issue because he is just so good. But John Michael Bunch, aggressive. And you know he'll be very aggressive here on this restart. Back to green.
Well, another good restart for the 91. He's able to put some distance between himself and Bunch. Bunch gets slid by the 9L, Luke Hayes, and Luke Hayes goes to 2nd. Bunch crowds him up the racetrack, and veteran move there, slides to the top, and maintains the position.
And here comes Dominic Gordon. They're 3 wide in turns 1 and 2. Bunch bounces off the fence. He drives back into 2nd.
All the while, the 91 trying to pull away from him. 4 laps to go this time by the stripe, and Tyler Seavey is cruising right now.
Oh, Harper and Rauscher get together on the front stretch. Jennifer Osborne sideways for a moment down the backstretch. Lots of stuff happening here as we're coming down to the end of it.
3 laps to go in this one. The 91 all by himself with a clear track ahead of him out at the front of the field. Just got to be smooth. The final few laps, 2 to go at the stripe.
Tyler Seavey has ran a masterful race starting the outside of the front row. And he is cruising. Large and in charge is Seavey as he turns for the white flag.
One more time around for the Sutter California product. Off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3. Your veteran driver gets career win number 28. It's the Outlaw Kart Showcase for Tyler Seavey.
2nd spot, John Michael Bunch. 3rd, Luke Hayes. 4th, Gordon. 5th, Hunterman. 6th, Osborne. 7th, Angelo Cornet. 8th, Carson Sousa. 9th, Joshua Wooten. And Tanner Pettit rounds out the top 10. But there he is, race fans. Your winner, Tyler Seavey. Gets career win 28 here at Cycleland. And quite possibly the biggest here at the 2021 Outlaw Kart Showcase. Truck Shop Motors 91 gonna make his way down. And we'll see if he can clear the scales right here. John Michael Bunch gave it everything he had. He finishes 2nd. Luke Hayes rounds out the podium in 3rd. But there he is, race fans. He has cleared the scales. Tyler Seavey is your 2021 Outlaw Kart Showcase winner. He's going to burn it down in turns 3 and 4. And there he
Hey
is.
guys, it's Evan Rauscher, driver of the 07 in the open class. So we've been home for a couple days, and I just want to walk you through the second day of the Outlaw Kart Showcase, how it went for me. So woke up at 6:30 in the morning, waited for my mom to get there with the new frame since we stripped the other one down and found out that it was pretty severely bent. So I got up at 6:30, started cleaning parts and stuff, and then when my mom got there with the new frame, I started to put that together. And it took me quite a while. I think it took me like 11 hours or something like that to get it all put together. We got it done like 30 minutes right before we had to go out on the track for our hot laps. But we got the car together, I go out there for hot laps, and the car kind of pushed a little bit, but I think that was just driver error. I would go and step on the brake instead of throwing in the car, and it would just push all the way to the wall. But there was a couple laps that were good in there, and the car felt pretty good. But then I think I started pretty deep in the B main, like 8th or like 7th or something like that, and only top 4 transfer. And you guys can see right off the start, I go into turn 1 and just do a little Tommy tip over and get stuck upside down. So off the start, I was going, and I don't know if the throttle hung open or if I couldn't get my foot all the way off the gas pedal, because where the fuel tank sits and where the throttle pedal ended up, since the LPR and QRC chassis are different, the throttle pedal ends up at different places, and we just threw my old setup in it that we had on the LPR chassis, and went there, and it was like really close. I didn't really have enough room to move my foot back, so I don't know if I went in the corner and just couldn't get it back. But I was going in and the car wasn't slowing down, so I panicked and I pushed on the brake really hard, locked up the tire, spun them out, and then just backed her up, and I think it was the H2O ran over my tire and kind of just caused me to tip over. But besides that, the race kind of went okay after they got me flipped back over. As you can tell, I got a lot of wing damage and it was standing up really far, so it had a lot of rear bite, and it just wanted to push a lot, so I couldn't really run the line that I wanted to, or the fast line that I needed to run. I just had to like kind of try to make the middle work kind of, but I think I ended up at like 10th or 11th or something like that. I would have been pretty close to transferring if I would have stayed out there, but towards the end of the race my throttle started to hang open. I know for sure that one was hanging open because I took my foot completely off the gas sometimes, and so after a little bit, after like 5 laps after it got hung open, I just made the driver decision, decided to pull into the infield and try to kill it, because I was just building up too much momentum, and to enter on the high side of this didn't really feel good, and I didn't want to junk a car that wouldn't have been able to transfer to the A. So I just decided to pull in and call it a night.
Welcome back to Mom's Corner. I'm Samantha Rauscher.
And I'm Kim Rauscher.
It's been a little while since we've done Mom's Corner, but we're kind of excited to bring it back for this one kind of one-off show that the boys got to run.
Yes, they haven't been running very much later this summer, so it was great for them to hit the track again.
Yeah, and they did really well. So they didn't know, the boys kind of touched on it a little bit, they didn't know they were going until like the Thursday before. I just decided to take them, I guess, and I asked them if they want to go racing, and of course the answer is always yes, so it was just I get them in the trailer and get going. We went to Big Sprint Cars for the night prior to the 2-day, which was super cool because Brent's gone often, and we've gone, we kind of make a habit of going an extra day to see different racing, but to take my nephews just as an aunt is kind of cool to kind of watch them see something new, so that was fun and interesting.
Yeah, they were really excited. Neither one of them had ever been, so it was their first time, and we watched it on Flow and on TV, and you know, they hadn't seen it in person. They were really excited. They can't wait to go again.
You just get to hear it and see it and smell it, and it's just different than on TV, although I like my Flow and my comfortable couch, so it's not,
Your comfy clothes.
Yeah. And then, so we went into 2 days of racing. We did not do a Mom's Corner for days 1 because we just kind of let it flow through, and now we're going into days 2, so we just wrapped up. It was some struggle. Evan had a lot of just getting back in the car and just, I don't know, little things, right? And then we get him off the track and it's like, whew, something's wrong. So Evan spent hours, I mean, we don't even stop racing until 11, 12 o'clock at night. And then he was out there till, I don't know, 3 in the morning stripping his car and just deciding, you know, is it fixable? What's fixable? So.
Yeah, and then the decision was made that Mom hop in the car and drive up a chassis.
Yeah.
So I drove the 3 hours, dropped it off. I don't even think I was gone like 15 minutes down the road. Wrong chassis. So he still got to throw that together.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a little surprise for him. So he just got it early. That's going to be his Red Bluff chassis. Yep, Red Bluff chassis.
So the problem with our husbands and children are they're hoarders. So sometimes we have a few of 1 or 2 items, and so it's easy to say, oh, let's just grab a chassis. Okay, so I mean that's what we do. And so yeah, Kim brought it up day 2. He had his car completely stripped, like I said, before he went to bed, slept a couple hours. When his mom got there, unloaded, built a car. Because it was a different manufacturer, he had some struggles getting it back together. It wasn't just click and go, right? Because there's a couple bars that are different or a couple things that are in a different place. And so it was an all day 6-7 hours of just nutting, bolting, and getting it together. But he did it, and for me, that's all I ever wanted for the boys, is to be the ones that put the work in. Really.
He definitely did. Sadly, it didn't go as he wanted to. He had some throttle issues. He stuck wide open and sailed it into turn 1. So we weren't there. I did turn around and come right back home. So we were watching at home, and it's very disheartening to see him go over like that after putting all, you know, and it's so disheartening for him as well. He's worked that hard to be there, and then to have that happen.
From my perspective, running 3 cars, it's a game changer. I mean, they know how to get themselves in and stuff, but it is rough to be like up, down, up, down. It's different when all 4 of us are there, because there's just little things that each one of them need that one of us at any given time can be with, but when they both, you know, or 2 or 3 of them need something, it's just, it's hard to be all places at once. We did it and it was fine. It just, it is much easier with 4 of us there, just to kind of nut and bolt and talk to them, I think.
Yeah, it is. And it was such an appreciated thing, you know, and it's hard not to be there. David had to work, you know, I was working. We had a lot of stuff going on, so we wish we could be there. And I think an amazing aunt and uncle took our kids and helped them out. And poor Derek, he probably slept really good for a couple of days.
Yeah. I think that's all we ever wanted was them to be able to just go racing, whether Brent goes with his aunt and uncle or whether the boys come with us or however that looks. Evan actually travels with us quite a bit, as you guys know. This is Blake's first time going with us racing, and Blake did amazing for a weekend.
He did.
I mean, he was aggressive off the go. He knew to make the A, to go tonight too and make the A. He had to be aggressive from the drop of the first green flag. And I mean, standing there, I felt like he was. I don't know what you guys saw on TV.
Oh yeah, he was. You could see it in mud pack and then qualifying. I think that was our best qualifying effort ever. Qualifying, you usually put qualifying in front of anything they're doing on the track and they slow down. So he was fast off the gate. They took top 10 out of the 2 groups. They had 60 some odd cars. So they broke it down. So they took the top 10 out of each group. So Blake made the 25 lap dash for cash. We've never done anything like that. We've never secured, or he's never secured. I know Evan has at Nationals. He secured his A main. Blake has never done that. So night 1, he secured that A main, and that's huge. Those are the best drivers in the open class. Those are all you know, elite people. Some of them are driving for sprint cars and midgets and that kind of thing, and they're there to race. So that is a big accomplishment. To me, just even finishing that race, going out there and finishing that race was my goal. He blew the doors off of that and finished, what, 12th, 13th? So he did amazing.
He did. He was running 5th for a while, and then he just started slacking off after the open red, which you guys kind of see in the footage. Derek and Brett working on him. That was a planned, scheduled open red. After that, he just kind of fell off a little bit, but he was still competitive. He wasn't giving a car an inch. He was just, it was like the tires were falling off, something was up. As we got home and we unloaded, his frame was broke. So
again,
it's like
every big event, I think.
At what point did you break this, right? Because he was doing really well, and then he just started falling back. So is that the cause? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, it's hard to tell, but
I have no idea when it happened. If it was even this race.
Yeah, but he certainly gave it everything he had, and that was super fun to watch from the infield.
Yeah, it was fun to watch from home as well. It was a great effort on his part, so it was a great accomplishment, and I hope that he can go into the Red Bluff season with that in mind, that he's going to do good. He is going to the open class at Red Bluff. The last time he was there, he did step down to the open intermediate. He's 18, so he needs to be in the open class. So that's a lot different of a track that's a lot smaller. As you remember from Cycleline, it is the bullring type track. So, and that's going to be our next adventure. Yeah. So some things have changed. Brent is no longer on Rauscher Racing Weekly. They're kind of stepping aside and doing their thing. Brent is promoting himself differently. We are still here side by side. He is racing with us every week. He's just not going to be featured on the show. Maybe periodically he'll come in as a guest, but that has changed. I know people have probably seen that watching last week. So
of course. And I think, you know, the goal really is to race and to be there and be competitive, but you want to be competitive when you show up. And so Blake took some time off. He did turn 18, as Kim said, and he's just growing as an individual. So we'll see Evan a little more, I think, than potentially Blake, just because he's gonna go do his own thing and go to work and be an adult, I guess. Right?
Yes, yeah, he's got a trip planned, his first trip away from home, so that's coming up. So yes, Evan intends to race this season at Red Bluff, so you will see him definitely every week. Blake, I'm not 100% sure. He would love to, but like I said, he's got a trip planned. We're starting off the season with that kind of thing going on, so he's adulting now, so and those kinds of things change. So but Evan will be there. He's going to, even if we're not there, he'll be with his aunt and uncle like he was last season. Should be exciting. So they start that here in a few weeks in October. Is it the 16th?
16th, yeah.
16th is the first points race, so that'll be exciting.